Yo, what up guys? We're back with another video. Today we're breaking down the number 2 players from Stanford in Louisville. So this is a match between Hudson Rivera and Will Mayhew. Okay, so let's get straight into it guys. If you're not familiar with who I am, my name is Chase Arevalo. I played D1 tennis at Georgia Southern University. I coached at IMG Academy where I was mentored by Nick Bollettieri, total tennis legend. And after that, I moved down to Boca Raton to work under Rick Macy and be mentored by him as a coach for 2 years, just under 2 years. And yeah, within 6 months, I went from having no lessons to being fully booked out there and being a director there. And then shortly after about a year of doing that, then branched out on my own and launched my own online program. So yeah, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. And yeah, let's get straight into it. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel and let's go. Notice, off the bat, his slice serve breaks the sideline within the service box. Amazing. Okay, notice what that does. It gets his opponent way out wide here. All right? So on the forehand. Okay, so this is no glazing, but one thing that he's doing really well on his forehand is at contact, his right arm is basically fully straight. So what that means is the lever in his arm is longer, so it's gonna be more technically efficient. So from a technical standpoint on the forehand, really, really good. Let's continue. Notice how comfortable these guys are just going cross court, right? They're not just spraying balls left and right. They're staying patient in the cross court rally. Crazy slice. One thing, textbook about this guy's serve right here, okay, Mayhew. His right foot is directly under his body when he's pushing up from the ground. And as he's doing that, his right hand and wrist are stacked directly over his elbow, while his elbow is still in a 90-degree position. Okay, and the racket head is relatively over the wrist, which is relatively over the elbow. And the left arm is pencil straight up. This is textbook. If you're back home trying to replicate something on your serve, right, and you're looking for like a good starting point, or just you're looking for something different, try to replicate this. Try to replicate this. Damn. Crazy serve. Notice, his forehand is textbook. Textbook. Very clean, technically. But what I look for, it's very simple. Okay, he lets go of the racket once the ball bounces. And when he does that, he doesn't undo his shoulder turn. So a very common thing with players back home is they're turning, and then even if they say follow that rule where they let go when the ball bounces, what they're doing is this. They let go, and then they're starting to undo their turn like this. So if my left arm was straight, it would be pointing more forward instead of keeping it parallel with the baseline like he's doing right here. Okay? So like from a coaching perspective, I can see this. I don't care who this is. This could be the best player in the world. This could be the biggest fucking scrub in the world. If I see this, it's a good indicator on the forehand technique. And you can replicate this back home. Another thing that's really good, the racket stays on the right side of his body when he lets go of the racket. He's not letting go and then going back here, hitting it like a girl, right? So when you're trying to optimize your technique, make sure you're replicating it after the more ATP style forehands. Okay. And bro misses the forehand right after. Thanks, dude. I like that open stance. So he went down the line, realized he hit a good shot, and came in. What I love about this already, and look, I don't know if he's going to make it. I don't know if he's going to miss it. But I love how he has his weight on his outside foot, his left foot. So when you're trailing in on these volleys in a similar scenario, make sure you keep your weight on your outside foot. That tip alone will completely fix your volley. Okay? And on the backhand side, if you want one more tip, get the racket way higher when you're preparing. On the backhand volley specifically. That was smart. Notice, another thing on his serve. We talked about how he puts his right foot in this position, and the location of that position is great. Something else he does tremendously, okay, is his step up. Watch his step up. Watch how controlled his step up is. Take a look. Look, he tosses. He tosses the ball. He hasn't stepped yet. He tosses the ball. He hasn't stepped yet. You can check that for yourself as well in your serve. Now, that movement right there, would you guys say he's going super aggressively forward like a madman, or is he doing a calm step down? Is he going calm into the step, and then is he just stepping down? What you can replicate back home is try to literally step straight down and stomp on the ground with the ball of your right foot. Apply that in your next practice session. Report back. Let me know how it works. Clean forehand. Even though he missed that, I like how he's going into the open stance. If I'm going to be overly critical, which I am, because that's how I coach, okay? It all comes from a good perspective of trying to help the player. But if I'm going to be overly critical here, I think he should load open stance. And then when he strikes the ball, you got to kind of force your body weight a little bit more forward. Okay? Especially if you're going to go open stance in this kind of scenario, instead of like a semi-open or closed stance. Okay? Where the ball, you're going to try to be aggressive and the ball's kind of like really far in front of you. Okay? Because of the fact that you're going to make contact a little closer to your body with the open stance, you have to make up for that by kind of forcing your weight a little bit more forward, okay? So see here how he's loading, and he's kind of just rotating in the same spot. What if he treated this ball almost like you load and explode forward, almost like a forehand return, right? Where you push off the right and go forward, okay? That's how I would recommend attacking this ball if you're gonna go in the open stance here. All right, so try that out when the ball is a little bit more in front, right? Where you're trying to be aggressive on it, where you're trying to get your weight through the ball, okay? It can avoid this error, all right? And just get more weight transfer through. He might still miss it, right? It's no guarantee, but. Notice he approached down the line. He knows he's been watching the videos. Approach down the line. Approach down the line, guys. Unless you can hit a winner cross. Okay, very simple. Rivera has a decision to make. Can I hit a winner cross court? If yes, I'm going cross court. It's very simple. If not, if there's any doubt, if I believe this dude over here, Mayhew, could get the ball if I go cross, there's no chance I'm going cross, and I'm going to go down the line. Okay? So if you go cross, no, I got to hit a winner. I got to hit it big. Because if you don't, this guy's going to burn you line. Okay, he went big there. And he basically hit a winner there, right? It was a forced error. So he did his job there. Okay, so Rivera's in a platform stance, Okay, really great shoulder elbow angle. Really, this guy has a really live shoulder. I can tell he's got a really live shoulder. Let's see here on his serve. Okay, look, on his forehand, notice he hits the same checkpoints that Mayhew hits, right, that we were just talking about. His left arm is parallel with the baseline. Are you doing that with your forehand, bro? Or when you let go, are you pointing forward? If your coaches are telling you point forward to the ball, you're getting fucking scammed right now, bro. Straight up. So take ownership over your game and apply the real shit. Apply the right technique, bro. It will help you. All right. Now, also, he keeps the racket on the right side of his body even as he lets go. His right hand's also on his right side of his body. Notice his right elbow. This is like textbook ATP technique. All right. If you're curious about like, well, dude, why do some players like have their elbow up higher? Like, why is that kind of more common in the modern style of play? It's very simple. I used to not even understand it. I had no fucking clue. I was like, I saw it, but I didn't understand it. It didn't make any sense. I didn't realize that there's actually something biomechanically that getting the elbow higher actually helps with. Okay? And a lot of coaches don't really know about this. Okay? So, even players, obviously. All right? So, the benefit of getting your right elbow up higher, okay, is that, look, you're going to be able to set the racket more to the right when you let go. Try it out for yourself. Go set up, turn on your forehand, okay, and then get your elbow up higher, take your hand off, and then just let gravity drop your arm. You're going to notice your racket is going to set to the right naturally. Versus try it again with your elbow down, tucked next to your rib cage. Do the same thing. You're going to notice this. You let go, just let your arm just fall with gravity. It's going to go behind. It's going to go behind. It's going to go behind like the women hit their strokes, right? Like the WTA style forehands. Okay? So there's a real reason why getting the elbow higher could potentially help you. You don't have to do it, right? If you can set the racket on the right while keeping your elbow a little bit lower, you can do that, okay? But it's all about as a player and as a coach, you want to understand what are the variables I can manipulate to improve my game. Technique, how to hit the ball, right? So it's important to understand that kind of foundational concept, okay? So let's continue, guys. Okay, so that was a great shot, but I want you, the lesson from here right now is notice what this guy's doing right here, right? So his opponent hits a really good ball, changing direction, right? Putting him on the run. You're going to face a very similar scenario back home. I guarantee you're going to face this in your next match, right? Someone rips the ball this way. You got to run forehand on the run. You need to have a rinse and repeatable method that is something that you practice time and time again here. This can't be just like, okay, I'm just going to try to hit some random shot. No. It's very simple. Aim for a target right over here, okay? And if anything, you're going to miss the ball a little bit deep this way, okay? You don't want to try to break the sideline here. You want to get your forehand cross court on the run to be a penetrating forehand ball, pause, and you want it to go all the way deep through the court here. All right, and you want to set with an open stance and set your right foot here. Set your right foot here as far away from your body as possible. Because all your momentum is going to be falling over to the right. So your job is to do your best to stay balanced. And by setting that right foot as far as you can, it's almost like kind of a stilt holding up your body. If your body was like a building, right? And it's some like kind of stilt that's like holding it up right from the side. Okay, so notice here, you can't really see it in frame, but he pushes off the right foot, rips cross, and goes to that target. Okay? Yeah. And just very small thing there, like when I look at my players' footage who are in my online program, I highly recommend them on the run, even on their backhand, to use two hands unless they have to hit it with one hand. right? So use your discretion as a player, as a coach. But as the player, you're the only one who's really going to know, could I have really kept two hands on that? Or did I kind of bail out to the one hand? Okay, and there's nothing wrong with slicing it, but in general, for most players, the percentages of them floating it are going to be a little higher when they're slicing, obviously. So there. So if you look here, I like how he's taking a step to the side. He could have taken a bigger step to the side based on the fact that the ball was going right to his body. Okay? Now, here, again, remember what I was saying about the return footwork? And I was relating it to just like a neutral ball or like that shot that he missed before when he was trying to be aggressive. Okay? But here, because this is a return, okay, and it was a kick serve, this is basically like a second serve right here. All right? You need to push off the right, especially if you're going to change direction here. Push off the right, get your body to land inside the court. That's what I don't see here. That's what I don't see there. He's not pushing off the right foot and then landing on the left. So make or miss, I don't care about that. As a coach, I really don't care if he makes the ball or misses the ball, right? I look at what was within his control. And did he do it or did he not? And as a player, you can be your own coach and apply that same mindset for yourself. Good open stance. Again, he went cross court because he could hit a winner, right? That's exactly why he didn't go down the line there. You can rip this line. You can rip it at his body. You can rip it literally right at his chest, or you can lob. Yeah, so there, here's my recommendation, right? So he missed that one a little wide. My recommendation here, if the ball's really low, right, and you're in a close stance like this, and it's kind of not very comfortable for you to hit this ball, right? Especially if you hit a flatter backhand, right? It might be difficult to make this ball down the line. Like you might sail it long if you hit it more flat. If it's a very difficult shot, what I recommend is punish this ball as hard as you can right at this guy's chest. Try to rip a hole right through this guy's t-shirt. And that's a totally legitimate shot. Any coach who says that's not a legitimate shot doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. Okay? So utilize that shot, rip it at their body. Okay? Because you see how even there, even if he could make that, it was kind of not a clean shot, right? He wasn't really committing to the brush. And that's why I would say rip it right at that guy. He's not going to have time to react, you know? So that's my 2 cents there. I love how he got his body forward still though, right? He used his body well. See where he's going to go. Is he going to rip here? Can he hit a winner there? Maybe. If he's got a lot of confidence and he really goes big, he might be able to, right? It's a high ball. Let's see if he's going to come in here though. Or he's going to rip line. Yep. Let's see what he could have done better. So he ripped there. Split. Okay. Yeah, so just notice how his left foot's like here. I wonder why he didn't keep a wide stance. Let's see. So here, what I really recommend with athletes, and this is like what also has helped me personally, is try to keep a really wide stance. Like when you're coming in and you split, he split stepped here. But what he should do is split, don't move this foot, put your weight on this foot without moving it. Right? So you see he took this step. Do less. Don't take that step. Just literally keep your foot grounded, do less, and then lean to the left, push off the left, and go to that ball, right? And he would have been able to make it, I believe. Because I've seen players way worse than him apply that, and it's worked tremendously for them. So there's no reason why it wouldn't work for him too. keep that weight on the outside leg. Way to get his body weight going forward. He's probably going to try to rip inside out for a winner here. Nice. And how I measure that is like, okay, he didn't hit a winner, but he hit a ball good enough to create an overhead. So at this level, that's basically a winner because you should be able to put away an overhead. That's a great return, though. I really like that. Even though he missed that, I really like that. He split. Like, I'm just looking at what's within his control. He split, put his weight on his right leg. He pivoted to the right. He pushed off. He went forward and landed on the left. Could he push off maybe a little bit more forward? Maybe. But he missed the ball by very small margin. So if you're him, you got to stay positive. That was a good try. Such a clean serve. Okay, so there, look. Great serve. Gets the short ball. Could he, this is what I'm measuring here, does he have every option on the menu? He has a lot of options, okay? But the ball is relatively low. So you're going to have some less options because of that, because the ball's lower, right? I don't necessarily think that was like the easiest ball to just rip a winner on. So automatically, I would have hesitation that the drop shot isn't a bailout here. Okay? That's clean. And there you can see it, right? Like he approached cross there, right? He approached cross. Ball in the middle. He rips cross court. And it works, right? But it's working because his opponent, he hit a good enough ball where his opponent's on the run, having to slice and float that ball. So he didn't hit a winner there, but he got the next best thing, which was a floating forehand slice, which, I mean, doesn't take a genius to know any D1 player, this is a put away shot, right? This is 99% of the time they're going to make that, right? So he did enough damage with that. But at your level, be cautious with the approaches cross court. Because if you don't have the tools to rip it that big and do enough damage, you might get burned, okay? But worked out for him. Again, here, he could probably try to go for an inside-out winner here if he really wants to go big, right? If you're going to do that, make sure you run around it a lot. Make sure you get a lot of angle going away. But if you have any doubt that you can rip that for a winner, you're going to want to go inside in. Right. But just pay attention, right? Like this guy here, he rips this. A good player, a higher level player will be like, say you're playing, you know, Rafa, like Djokovic, someone like, let's just say top level player who's really fast, who can get to their spots. They're going to get to this spot, right? Get there a little sooner, be able to plant a little earlier and punish you line here. So especially at the D1 level, right? If you're anywhere near these guys' level or even a little bit lower level, right? And you get into a similar scenario, your opponent approaches like that, you want to pass them down the line here, okay? If you get to that spot early and you can set up well, okay? So at this level, you just don't have the luxury to give that ball back because even if you make that, that's an easy volley for this guy, right? So at the D1 level, I would recommend you got to rip that one line. Even if you miss it, you're going for the right shot. That's crazy. Again, forehand on the run. He goes cross. Rivera does a really good job staying tight to the baseline. Really good. That's it. And he has an amazing wide stance, right? Especially guys, if you're taller, you gotta have a wide stance. You gotta have a wide stance, guys. Like way wider than you think too. Exaggerated. I promise you. Look at your footage. You probably don't have anywhere near that type of stance. So widen your stance. Can he hit a winner cross? He can definitely hit a winner cross. Can he hit a winner down the line? He can definitely hit a winner down the line. He can also hit a drop shot winner. Oh boy. Right? So his opponent did a really good job reacting. See, he was already anticipating here. So got to give credit to his opponent there. Yeah. He made that one tougher. Notice there, very small detail, right? He hits a good serve. He gets the point. He pumps himself up. He says something to himself positive that fires him up. Right? When you're in the match, you got to find ways to give yourself momentum. So one basic way to do that is you do something good, give yourself credit for it. Pump yourself up, right? You got to be your own biggest advocate, okay? Don't just be out there like, this is if you're looking for another level. If you're satisfied with your level, just do what the hell you're doing, right? Do what you have been doing. But if you're watching this, you probably want to get to that next level, right? So what that means is, are you maxing out the energy that you can have on court? And are you putting in the hard work every point, which is not just what you're doing when you're running and hitting, but even after? Are you doing those little things, right? Are you pumping yourself up? It might take a few weeks, a few months, a few years for you to get into that habit, but it will help you if you're looking for a level up. Notice how every forehand these guys are hitting, they're keeping the left hand on the racket until the ball bounces. Oh wow, that was good. That was good. So notice here, there's a lot to learn here. So he approaches down the line, really good. He really should have come in off that ball though, right? But he didn't, that's okay. Now here, in general, you could slice this one down the line here, which is what you would probably want to do. However, he realized, hey, I could do damage to this guy by hitting it down the line, by hitting a short slice, right? Which is awesome because what is he doing there? He's not only manipulating left and right of the court, but he's manipulating forward and back. He's making his opponent prove, hey, can you move forward still? How confident are you moving forward here, right? And it worked out. He hit a winner. Okay, guys, where do you guys think he's going to go? Look how high the ball is. I believe at this level, he should rip this inside out for a winner. However, if you have doubt, if you think this guy here is going to get there, or at least get a racket on it, I'm going to go inside in here. That was too short. Yeah. That approach was too short, though. Got the job done, though. It's a crazy volley. Oh, wow, that was a good return. So he split. Okay, again. So. Guys, for you guys back home, most likely on your volleys, the concept I want you guys to take home is less is more. Less is more. Do less on your volleys, guys. Do way less on your volleys. Good disguise. Oh, wow. So let's break that down. Okay. So he was going for a pretty crazy shot here. That would have been a cool shot. But in general, guys, you guys want to go down the line there. Down the line is the strategy play there. So I want to point out something for you guys here. So notice his opponent, okay, goes inside in here. Okay, now notice, did he prepare like his normal forehand? No, he didn't. Why didn't he? What did he do instead? On the forehand on the run, this is similar to returns as well. What you can do is you can set your arm more straight and extend the racket to the right side of your body and set it there instead of starting your stroke doing the full take back. So notice here, he knew I'm not going to have time to prepare. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to set my racket out to the side, racket head above my wrist, okay? Go open stance and just block the ball back. Okay? So regardless of what happens in this point, that's something that you guys can add to your arsenal, okay? And it's going to help you be a lot more versatile on the run when you play better players. Big serve. Okay, so when you are this guy over here, right? Your opponent hits a good inside out, approach shot, they're coming in, and you're deciding, should I go down the line for a winner, which is a good option, or the other option is go angle cross. The other option is realize where your opponent is depth-wise, right? So when you're analyzing, should I go line, should I go cross? It's very simple. Pay attention to where is my opponent split stepping when I'm making contact or when I'm gonna make contact. If you're evaluating this slightly before, like when you're running to the ball. If they're this far back, okay, it's actually a good idea and you have time, rip the ball either low to his feet, like here to him, okay, make him play a tough volley from his feet, all right, or play a low ball and go even more angle and maybe try to hit a winner. Because this guy's a taller player, longer player, pause, I would want to go to his body almost like here short. Also because this is a difficult ball here, I might not be in a position to go for a tight margin shot angle winner, right? So here I would try to aim to his feet instead of trying to rip this line, right? If you're set up there with a lot of time, you can rip that down the line for a winner, totally, right? But because he wasn't really that close in, I think he could have hit the ball low to his feet there, okay? So that's what you guys can replicate for yourself back home. Nice. Again there. If you know your opponent on the run is going to go to a backhand slice, you're going to have a lot of confidence approaching there, right? So then you can repeat this. Look how wide his stance is here. I love that shit. It's crazy. Then he goes, rips line, comes in. His opponent's hitting that slice. So even if he makes that, it's like, bro, you got to keep that really low or else you're going to have an easy volley. So it just puts a lot of pressure on your opponent, right? That's why you missed that. It's good. Let me see there. Because he's way back behind the baseline, I totally get why he goes drop volley there. That's a really good shot. So if your opponent is tighter to the baseline here, this is the nuance there. Say your opponent is tighter to the baseline, you're going to want to go backhand down the line volley there. Okay? Or if your opponent's just really slow and they're tight to the baseline, you could still go drop volley. But basically why he went drop volley is because his opponent was so far back there. Okay, but for you guys, be hesitant with that because if they're closer and they're a good mover, they're going to be able to get there. Okay, but this guy was so far back that he could make that work. So that's the slight nuance there. So even there that he went with the forehand slice, he had his target set. He was going to the same target he's been doing 3, 4, 5, 6 times already in the match, right? So it's clear this guy knows how to fucking play. He knows where to structure the point. He knows where to play the ball. He knows his targets. Okay, so when your opponent opens with an angle, as a general rule, you have the option to play an even bigger angle. Now, if you're going to change direction and consider, okay, I want to rip line here, you can do that. Do your best when someone plays angle to cut the court as much as you can and get as inside of the court as much as you can before making contact. All right, like if you are this guy over here trying to hit this ball down the line, right? So look, he could have totally made that. 100% he could have totally done that. I'm sure he's made that a ton of times before. I would just say, for you guys, try to cut the court there and then hit the same shot if you're going to go line, right? If you don't have like time to do that and get that aggressive court positioning, maybe play a bigger angle, right? Play one more like that. Then maybe the guy goes back again that way and then he's even farther out of the court, and then you don't have as much pressure to hit the winner on it. It's an easier ball, right? And then let's think it out even further. Well, what if another option is you play that bigger angle and then that guy goes down the line here? Well, now think, that's actually good because if you can get to this spot early, then you can burn him with a cross court ball, right? So you can kind of bait him with that down the line, okay? So that was a good try. He's going for the right shot. Wow. The backhand down the line is the best shot to keep your opponent honest when they're using their inside-out forehand a lot. So if you're playing someone who uses their inside-out forehand a lot, make sure you use your backhand down the line to keep them honest. Hold up, this thing's glitched. Okay, hold up. My sinuses are so clogged, bro. All right.
Let's go.
So look, if we're talking about how to play, if I'm coaching, look, good ball, hits a good ball back deep, gets a short ball here, okay? If you're this guy over here on this side, you want to get tighter to the baseline, rip this down the line, okay? Which, look, he's already behind the baseline still. Look how short this ball was, guys. Look. This could be the easiest ball you get the whole rally. He just gave you a really short ball. So your job, right, as his opponent, is get your body inside the baseline, make contact inside the baseline, okay, rip down the line, and follow it into net. That's what he should have done here, in my opinion, right? Now the rally's going to be drawn out even longer. But the kind of right way to play strategically, right, if you're talking about what's textbook, is rip that down the line and follow it in. But you got to get a little tighter in making contact on that short ball. Good patience in the cross. You see what I'm saying? So there it's like, you're drawing out the point. Like, why are you doing that? You know? What do you guys think? Do you think he should have played like that, right? And just keep extending the point? Or do you think he should have taken that opportunity there that he had? I think he should have taken that opportunity. It's a good try. I like how he's getting tighter to the baseline here. Let's see where he goes. Rips line, follows it in. I love that. Has this guy been watching my videos? Damn. So look, that's a clear example of how that one point before where he didn't take advantage of that short ball led to that spiraling out of the rest of the game. And that costed him the set. So that's an example of my opinion. It's by you not being aggressive enough, you just costed yourself the set. You know? So just learn that, guys. If you guys are back home, learn that. Learn that lesson, apply that. So it doesn't happen to you. So let's go back again, actually. So here, good slice serve, gets the short ball, rips cross. It's a good shot, but you're there with plenty of time. So here, you gotta go down the line passing shot here. You just have to. That's the textbook way to play here. Like, even if you miss that, like, you gotta go line. And guys, one thought I just had there is like a lot of players when, you know, they're developing and they're looking at players and they're like, well, wait, like, okay, like, does technique really matter? Or is it just like you got to be consistent and make balls? And look, you can get really consistent with whatever technique you have. But in my opinion, at the highest levels, you're going to see in the tight moments when the going gets tough, when the balls are speeding up, when the moments, you know, at that moment, at that big moment, you're going to notice the players usually with the cleaner technique, the ones with a repeatable stroke, with the right mechanics per se, their strokes are going to break down less under pressure than the opponent, assuming the movement's the same and positioning and all of that is the same. If we're just isolating stroke-wise, you're going to see, pay attention when you're watching players, when they break down in a tight moment, analyze that and see, right? There's a reason why Mayhew is balling out here. Because he's hitting all the checkpoints technically as well. So when the moments get tough, it's something repeatable, right? Where he's able to replicate those very, very clean strokes where everything's optimized. Or maybe there's a little less effort for him to do the same type of result in terms of impact. Again, he approached down the line because he couldn't hit a winner cross. That's a good example of first volley. Prioritize going deep with the first volley. Prioritize going deep with the first volley. Like, that's working for him because his opponent's missing those. So if you're in a match and your opponent's missing those, go for that shot. But if you're playing someone who can move a little better, they're going to get there and burn you down the line. Yes. That's what Rivera needs to do more. It's a good shot. Great slicer, breaking the sideline. Notice he went cross court on the approach shot because he could hit a winner. If there's any doubt that you can hit that winner cross, you're going to go line. This is what all the top D1 players do. That's why he went line there. Notice first volley, he went for depth. There's a reason why he did that. So notice here, wait. Kick serve out wide, serve and volley. That's a really good play. Okay, so he's probably gonna volley line. He volleys line, yep. Now, the textbook thing here is pass down the line. Okay, you can also lob, you can also angle cross. But this far back, if you try to angle, your opponent's probably gonna be able to move, cover the court in time, and put that away. So I would X out the angle as an option or cross court. Because you're on the run, lob might be difficult. So let's see where he goes. That was a good ball. That was a good ball. So in general, passing shot, you want to go down the line as a general rule. Okay? And that's what these guys at the top level are doing. And it's going to help you guys to operate with some rules like that so you have some structure of how to play. Then as you get better, then you can have some more nuance with some of these rules. But most players don't have enough structure in their game.
Take it off, Nico. Here we go. Let's go. Go to work here. Here we go. Here we go.
Nice. That was good patience, waiting for the opportunity to come in. That was good. Not forcing himself in there. And just remember, guys, when you're returning against big servers on first serves where they're bombing a flat serve at you, okay, make sure you're not trying to hit so much height in your return. Have a window of I'm going to block it more flat and I'm going to aim lower than like 3 feet over the net, okay, at this higher level, right? If you don't know how to make a return, maybe you got to add some more height to it. But if you're already a good player, you got good technique, you've already been playing a lot of tournaments, right? Do the higher level thing. Have the intentionality on your returns, first serve returns. You don't want to play with that much height, okay? Okay, so here, Rivera has a decision. Am I going to go down the line? Am I going to go cross? Right here, he can hit a winner cross court. So you can go for that. If you're the opponent on the other side, okay? You need to, because you gave him such an easy ball, you have to wait, guess and go. The best way to do this, returning this ball, is showing to your opponent that you're kind of guessing early one way and overcommitting early. And then when they go to strike the ball, you full commit to the other side, right, as they're going. So let's see what happens. Went down the line for the winner there. Yeah, he could have hit a winner either way there. So let's see if his opponent even guessed. But see, he didn't even guess. He didn't give himself a chance. I would rather this guy sprint this way or sprint this way, and if the opponent goes the other way, so be it. But you don't just want to stand there flat-footed, okay, without guessing. Even if you're not flat-footed, just split-stepping there. That's not good enough, right? At this level, you need the more advanced strategy of anticipation, and that's exactly how to fix that. You know, like I probably still would have hit a winner, but there's going to be one time where that works for you, and it's going to be worth it. Yeah, there you just got to be patient going cross. You might have shanked that, though. Like, that would have been a decent change of direction, but he wasn't really in position to hit that, right? Like, he's here, but then look at how as he's hitting it, he's falling back. Right? You could see, because look at where he was landing as he was rotating, right? He wasn't getting his body weight going through the ball. Okay? So, I'm not saying that's exactly why he missed. I'm saying he missed, and oh, by the way, this is something that I see objectively that, like, he didn't really do, getting his weight through, right? Let me know in the comments so far, what's your biggest takeaway from this video? Write it in the comments. And let me know how you're going to apply it to yourself for your own game and your own body. Even though he missed that, where's he going, right? He has the default target going cross there. I love that. I love that. I don't care. I don't care that he missed. Can you hit a winner cross? If yes, go cross. If not, you gotta go down the line. That's why he went line. Ball was lower. So for you back home, maybe the lesson for you today is like, okay, on those low approach shots, just have a general rule, approach down the line. So you don't have to think about, oh, where do I go? Where do I go? If you get a low ball that you're approaching on, go down the line and just keep it simple with that. You'll be right more than you're wrong. I promise you that. Big point here. Big point. So, okay, so he approached inside in. He's coming in. Now, he went for a short ball here, cross court volley. You can do that. If you're the opponent here, if you're Rivera, you want to go down the line here. It's very simple. You have to go down the line. You have to. You have to. You have to go down the line here. Even if you go cross and you win the point, I don't care. It doesn't matter. You need to go down the line here, right? Let's go back again. So, approach inside in. Okay. Wait. Inside in. He goes cross. It's okay. If you're Rivera here, you're actually in a decent spot because you can get here, right? You just got to go line. You got to go line with this. And you could have avoided that. Yeah, you want to pass with a down the line shot. Okay, so there, look, gets the short ball. He goes close stance here. I feel like I never saw him for the whole match go close stance in this type of scenario. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Go back through the footage. I don't think he did this one time in this scenario. I feel like usually he sets in the open stance here. Right? So even though he missed it, he could have made it. But I'm more looking at what's going on. Is he maybe a little checked out towards the end of the match? That's an indicator, potentially, right? I would have loved to see him pop out on the open stance like he was doing before. If he was doing that close stance the whole time, I would have nothing to say about it. But it looks different than what he was doing normally. And then there again, it's like lackadaisical footwork. You know, it's just tough there. It's tough. No, that was way out. Oh, that's good. Wait. So then again there. Like, players miss balls, so you don't want to overanalyze, oh, they missed the shot, they made it, whatever. Doesn't really matter. But it's just like, I just know at this level, guys, the players are going to have way more success when they're in a wide open stance. It's just a fact. I really believe it, and it works. Literally, every person who tries it, it works. So, yeah, guys, that's it for this video. Hope you guys got some good value out of it. Had a lot of fun making it. And, yeah, subscribe to the channel. We got a lot more of these coming out for you. So, yeah, hope you guys have an amazing day. Let me know your biggest takeaway in the comments below. And I'll see you guys in the next video.